Hello, and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt. Today, we're going to be talking about Joe Biden and his health. First thing I want to mention is the meds that he's on right now. He's on blood thinners, medication for acid reflux, cholesterol, and seasonal allergy. Here's a news article saying Joe Biden is healthy and vigorous according to doctor's report. Now, the doctor that made this report, his name is Kevin O'Connor, D.O. Associate Professor of Medicine at George Washington University. Now, the thing about this article and when the doctor saw him, it was in 2019. It's been 2 years. A lot of things can happen in 2 years. Now, here's another article published in 2019 saying Obama's doctor says Biden is not a healthy guy. Now, you got two different articles came out the same exact year saying two different things. Which one do you believe? Well, it seems that you should use your eyes and it'll tell you the truth. Now, this is a story from 2013. Joe Biden actually had brain surgery and he had a 50% chance of not surviving. Now, he had two surgeries done in 1988. The two surgeries were cranial aneurysms. They had to be taken, they had to take his head off practically to fix the arteries. One was leaking and the other one was about to burst. Well, when I saw this article and the story, I thought, yeah, this explains his speech issues and also with his gait when he's walking. Because one of the side effects from the actual surgery is affecting speech. It kind of makes sense to me that it was because of this surgery. But then I looked into it a little bit harder. Now, when I say I was going to look into it harder, I looked at some videos of him in the past to see when the speech issues started happening. The first video I looked at was in 1986, 2 years before the aneurysm surgery happened.
What disturbs me more than the policy that you call a policy is the rationale for the policy. The rationale for the policy. You set out 4 principles that you adhere to, and then and I will go over them in a moment. Then you say on page 14, we must not become part of South Africa's problem. We must remain part of their solution. We must not aim to impose ourselves, our solutions, our favorites in South Africa. Damn it, we have favorites in South Africa. The favorites in South Africa are the people who are being repressed by that ugly white regime. We have favorites. Our loyalty is not to South Africa, it's to South Africans. And the South Africans are majority black, and they are being excoriated. It is not to some stupid puppet government over there. It is not to the Afrikaner regime.
And then I compare it to a speech he made 1993, 5 years after he had the surgery done.
Dismiss the prospect of some partisanship. Let me set the record straight on this bill. The underlying bill, which is now the Biden-Hatch bill, was the Biden bill. A guy named Biden wrote that bill, and he wrote that bill by going down and sitting down with the President of the United States of America, not with his Attorney General, not with anyone else, with Bill Clinton, President of the United States of America, who between the time he got elected in November.
Now, after you look at those two videos, I don't see much of a difference. So I decided to go a little further and went to 2008. He became vice president.
If you want to get influence out of this, support my public financing bill. Have just nothing but public financing. The amounts of money we're raising here are obscene. From all difference of us. You know, I wish I were. We're raising 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 million. A lot of stakeholders in that. A lot of stakeholders in that. Number 2, my good friend from New Mexico, God love him. His state's a couple million people. Give me a break. You can pull together 300 million people. That's like saying, you know, I played halfback when I was in high school. I can play in the pros. It's a different deal. Third point I'd make here.
Are you saying he's not qualified?
I'm saying he's a great governor. He's a great governor to make a great Secretary of State, but he's not, you know. Now, the other point I want to make is, look, you have to ask yourself the question.
Okay, after watching those 3 videos, I hardly see any difference when it comes to the speech or the walk. So, I decided to go to 2020.
How would you get those same Republicans to work with you?
Well, look, the next president of the United States is going to have to do 2 things. Defeat Donald Trump, that's number 1. And number 2, going to have to be able to go into states like Georgia and North Carolina and other places and get a Senate majority. That's what I'll do. You have to ask yourself up here, who is most likely to be able to win the nomination in the first place, to win the presidency in the first place? And secondly, who is most likely to increase the number of people who are Democrats in the House and in the Senate? And by the way, I learned something about these impeachment trials.
Now, I don't know about if anyone else thinks this, but it don't seem like the same guy to me. Things have deteriorated for him so much. It makes you wonder. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not wanting to say he has dementia or Alzheimer's, but he definitely has the signs of it. Then after that, I was on the internet and I found a picture of Joe Biden side by side from about 2008 to now. And I want y'all to take a look at it. Now, full disclosure, I got this picture off of a show called Liberal Hive Mind. I'm a big fan. And I thought this picture was pretty interesting. Now, you can't really see it very good, so I'm going to enlarge it a bit. Now, if you look at the picture, first thing you notice is the picture on the right, how his eyes are so dark. Then you look at the picture on the left, where his eyes are really light. His eyes are like a bluish color most of the time. Now, it depends on, his eye color depends on what he's wearing in his background. Most of the time it's either mid-blue to dark blue. Now, if you look at the picture on the right, it's very dark. It's like his pupils are enlarged. Now, if you notice in his eyes right there, you can see there's lights in his eyes. His pupils shouldn't be enlarged. And the thing is, I was trying to figure out what could cause this. Now, my first thought was maybe it's a drug that he's been given to help him with a medical condition he has. Well, I gave you the list of medication he takes. None of these medications cause your pupils to dilate. So then I was like, well, what drugs do? Of course, alcohol does, and so does amphetamines, and amphetamines like cocaine, drugs like that. Now, unless he got into Hunter Biden's stash, I don't see him doing drugs or even drinking. Matter of fact, in the report, it says he doesn't drink or do cigarettes. Well, I was looking and I found this on there. More evidence that eye test holds the clues to Alzheimer's risk. This study was done at the University of California in San Diego. There's early indicators of Alzheimer's and dementia through the pupil dilation. If someone has dilated eyes, most of the time it's because they're performing a task that is hard for them to perform with having Alzheimer's or dementia at the time. Now, that doesn't mean I think Joe Biden has Alzheimer's or dementia, but definitely explains the eye dilation whenever he's in a bright room. Another thing explains it also is when he's out speaking and he's in a bright room or outside, he's squinting like crazy. And another thing that also is a indicator of mental decline is his gait, the way he walks. He doesn't walk like he used to. He had an open, large gait. Now it's very narrow. It's more of a shuffle he does. Now, I want to get something straight. I'm not saying that Joe Biden has Alzheimer's or dementia. What I'm saying is there's something more going on with him than meets the eye. And my opinion, they're keeping it from us. Now, saying that, I'm not a doctor. It could be something that's very benign. It could be something like he's just on a medication right now for some situations going on that's causing this. And they haven't told the American people because they're afraid it'll affect national security or something like that, which is understandable. And I'm certainly not advocating that they should use the 25th Amendment to take him out of office, because the person that's waiting in the wings to become president, I don't want her in there, because that's pretty much Hillary Clinton on light. The way I see it, if you were a senator from New York or California, I'd rather you not be a president of the United States. That's just me. Especially since she's probably more hawkish than Joe Biden is. I mean, that's saying a lot when someone actually thinks we should do more in the Middle East than we already are, than Joe Biden does. That's pretty crazy. Well, this is the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Please hit like, subscribe, and come again. Peace.